All right, guys, we are live. It's episode 315 of the Shooter's Mindset. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Co-host Greg Cannon. What's going on, Greg?
Hey, everyone.
Jennifer Seymour's joining me. What's going on, Jen?
Hey, guys.
A guest star of the hour. He's been on this show a few times. He keeps paying me, so we keep having him back. It's Chris Bartagone. He's had a few hats over the years, but he is now owner of Clark Armory. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? How you doing? Thanks for having me back. We should figure out what episodes I've been on and keep that going as a list.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was Ran CLP, Shooter's Mindset, Ran CLP, Shooter's Mindset, J Dewey Rods.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if there's another one. Those two just come off the top of my head for sure.
Well, there was two Dewey Rod, or there was two CLP ones, one Dewey Rod and Polycase.
Okay, that was a Polycase one too. Yeah. Were you on with Kyle Lamb, or were you on with Kyle Lamb?
The second CLP one was on with Kyle Lamb. Okay,
yeah. So you can go back in the Shooter's Mindset YouTube and plug those in. He joined Kyle Lamb.
I'm gonna get a plaque for the back of my wall here.
Yeah, there you go. But man, I you're obviously, we follow each other on social media. You're a buddy of mine. We hung out a lot over the years. And you recently picked up the Clark Armory deal. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, about Clark's Armory, and what's the changes and what's going on.
Sure. So, obviously, as you know, and obviously some of the other people that don't hear, I've been in the firearms industry for a minute now, and the majority of my time has been working for ammo manufacturers on the sales side of things. Back in 17, Clark Armory was a customer of mine. And a couple years later, I ended up, when I went to work for Ruag, I actually transferred them over from Polycase, which went out of business, to Quantum Ammo. And then Quantum Ammo was kind of getting out of the ammo distribution game, just manufacturing. And Ruag was taking over. So we transitioned all of those customers that were buying the Inceptor line, which Ruag Amotech was taking over the manufacturing and distribution of it. So we transferred Clark Armory over as a customer to Ruag. So fast forward a little bit, my time with Ruag was done. Ammo Inc. I went to work for Ammo Inc. as their VP of business development. End of the world happened, zombie apocalypse, COVID, whatever you want to call it, happened. And things were crazy, right? So I got to experience the craze and the demand from the market on the ammo side. And then COVID kind of caused my position to not be needed anymore. They had an inside sales team. My job was to go out and travel and see customers. I couldn't do it. Go do shows. All the shows were canceled. So end of July, my position was eliminated. About a month later, the former owner of Clark reached out to me and he asked me if I was involved in the industry anymore. And I said, yeah, I still am. And Clark Armory has been in business since 2014. And it's always been kind of a side thing for the past few years for the previous owners. And he asked if I was interested in it. So I took a look at the business and saw what kind of potential it had. It had always been focused on lead-free ammunition. That's why Inceptor, it was big with Inceptor, it was big with G2 Research, ICC ammo, Fort Scott munitions, some of those more niche products than your traditional full metal jacket lead ammo. So after doing about a month-long evaluation on the business and seeing what it had as a potential, we went ahead and purchased it and took it over. Officially, it was like October 2nd is when we finalized the deal. October 5th is when we inked it. And within 2 days, so October 7th was when I started taking it over and getting products in.
Boom. So there, I mean, the craze that this has caused as far as the ammunition and firearms industry as a whole has been absolutely not. Right? I mean, it's but not in a position, obviously, because you obviously have a position unlimited in a nightmare. But I mean, ammunition prices, storing, availability, not really exempt. Firearm availability. So you jump into an ammunition company as the owner of it, knowing that the availability to get products a little scarce. Right? I mean, that's a weird time one. So what do you got for that?
So, I mean, that's a great question, right? And that was a question that I was asked many times when I started looking into this. Is, well, what do you? I mean, and it was one of the questions that I asked myself. I had to sit here and look at it and be like, okay. And that was part of the evaluation that I did. Was, all right. So I do have some connections still with manufacturers in the industry. So let me go see what I can get. I mean, I knew what limitations we had at Ammo Inc. and the production capacity and limitations that we had, but I also knew that we were still producing ammo. Ammo was still being made and it was still going out. It just wasn't going out the same day, or it was no longer ammo sitting on the shelves. It was ammo's being made. Okay, 100,000 rounds are being made of 9mm this shift, and we have 500,000 rounds on order. So, allocation became a skill set that had to be mastered, right? So we had to make sure that you were allocating ammo to the right customers, first in, first out. I reached out to Ruag Ammo Tech, who was a customer, who Clark Armory was already a customer of, and made sure that I could get ammunition from them. So one of the things that, Clark Armory historically had placed smaller orders. They ordered in a smaller amount. I was going to take this and turn it up a notch and make this really start to hum on getting large POs in place. So that was part of it, right? It was okay, well, who can I get ammo from, and how quickly can I get it? So working with some of the people over at Ruag and at Ammo Inc., I was able to push those connections to say, okay, I can get you this in a shorter period of time. And one of the things you brought up was pricing on ammo. Well, I know what I sold ammo at last year, and I know what I'm buying it at now, and it is a complete 180 from where it was. But the first thing that went was brass. I mean, you couldn't find brass, you couldn't find primers, powder went up, projectiles went up. So all of those things went up, which caused the price to be raised across the market now. That's what everyone's seeing. And then it's the demand. It's not only just the components, but, for example, like Ammo Inc., they were running one shift and they had X amount of machines. The demand that was created, they had to go from one shift to 3 shifts. They had to go buy more machines. All of that is additional costs. And it was a constant battle with buyers at the time and it was a battle that it was, tough for me to have, because it wasn't like we didn't want to sell people ammo. We wanted to sell it and deliver it, but we couldn't. And now I'm on the other side of that saying, I can't take your 3-month lead time. I need to get product now. So
boom. There you go. So you use some of your connections with your former ammunition companies and people in that industry to kind of jumpstart this thing.
Correct.
Boom. Little different scenery on my end. I know you guys haven't seen me, in quite a few weeks. Jen and Greg has been holding it down very, very well, but my computer took a dump. I mean, I was doing some updates and I couldn't get on in time. So I'm on the iPhone on the Zoom call here. So I know it's a little different. You might see my fingers come up here and start typing because I'm doing everything on one platform here. I forgot the show sponsors, man. You know what I mean? See, I don't even have the notes up. The folks over at GSL Technologies for your suppressor needs, gsltechnologies.com. Check them out. From all the 22 suppressors to your big bore hunting calibers and everything in between. Is she there? Am I laggy?
You're very laggy. I couldn't hear anything other than So I don't know what you said.
I was just saying, what's up with you?
What's up with me? Going to the AG Cup on this weekend, not to shoot it, but to shoot it like this and take videos of people and put them on the interwebs so everybody can see what's going on, and interview the shooters and ask them all the questions that everybody wants to know. So y'all hit me up with your questions you want me to ask the shooters, and we'll ask them.
Ooh, I have one.
What?
Can we ask them if they're scared of Allison Zane coming next year and whooping them all?
I think they all are scared of Allison Zane coming.
She is scary.
She is the rabbit.
The rabbit.
You know, that was when Anthony sent over the topics for tonight, that was on here, and I said, man, it's been a while since I've been in the know on sponsored shooters. I was like, so who is this? And so I did a little bit of checking, and it goes back to, I remember, so obviously she's the next big thing.
She is the next big thing. She is the big thing. She's not the next big thing. She just won a major 2-day national level match.
What is she? So what is she shooting? Is it
PRS?
Okay.
And NRL.
Got it.
I think she actually set the record for the most trophies ever taken home by one shooter in a precision rifle match ever.
Got it. So just PRS. So now this, again, we talk about, and I guess we'll skip around here for a second. So, back when we had Team Dewey rods and CLP, like 3-gun was the thing. Is 3-gun still a big thing?
I don't know if anybody can find ammo for it right now.
There is some 3-gun stuff going on. They just had Memorial 3-gun.
I know a place that you can find ammo. It's funny you say that.
I didn't see any 223 on there earlier today. I was like, oh, I see.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Allison came back with top junior, top lady, top amateur, overall first place open / first place for the match, and won the Night Force skill stage.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
She won everything she possibly could have.
And she's young, right?
15.
15.
Yeah.
15 and a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And beat a bunch of grown men. No, she doesn't have those.
And not only that, but we had her on the show a couple months back, and I figured that she was one of those that went to school and came home and shot all night, and that's all she did. But she does all the extracurricular activities. She's a busy girl.
Wow, that's great. That is great.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it the 3-gun thing is there? It's just, I don't know. It's just not as popping as it was, Chris. At least I feel that way. Maybe I'm just not in the know.
I have seen more 3-gun posts this week than I've seen in a while. I guess just the people I'm friends with maybe just shot a match, but it seems like I haven't seen anything in a long time. And then this week I've seen a bunch of people post stuff.
Yeah. And it's funny. I had somebody reach out to me too. Buddy works in the industry, and he was like, hey, can you get me some ammo? I'm having a hard time, shooting the matches. And I'm thinking to myself, I was like, well, yeah, it's that if people are still shooting matches and they need, that's great, right? What we don't want is everybody just buying all this ammo and kind of hoarding it and sitting on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, boom. I think the COVID thing definitely slowed everything. Mm-hmm. But when you looked at the shooter's mindset a couple of years ago, as far as the show was, it was nothing but 3-gunners. It was that year was the hotness. It was 3-gunner after 3-gunner after 3-gunner every week on the show. And now, now it's more PRS because the PRS kind of is the hotness. Not to saying that shit is dying off. I don't think that. I just think, year to year shit changes and sports get hot.
Sure.
So you gravitate towards that. And I think
We had Keith
PRS
on,
is
though.
the hotness. We did have Keith Garcia.
Not very long ago.
That was recent. That was our most recent 3-gun guy.
I just
Keith
got
Garcia.
out of 3-gun and because I fell in love with PRS, not because I didn't like 3-gun. I love 3-gun, but I fell really in love with PRS and I'm too broke to do both. And so many of the people shooting 3-gun have changed now. Like a lot of the people that I knew shooting before are not shooting anymore. So
yeah,
I don't have the contacts that I used to have in that genre. So
yeah, that's a lot of it too. We get a lot of our shows based off of, who we know, who we interact with, and being at PRS matches all the time and never going to 3-gun matches kind of.
So if there's any 3-gunners that want to be on, reach out to us.
We could talk 3-gun.
There you go.
You're going to have to catch us up on what's going on in the world of 3-gun, but.
Yeah, I don't know what the new loading method of shotgun loading is now.
Octo load.
I feel like it's changed past quad loading.
Yeah.
Yeah, they use magazines now.
It's evolved.
Any live stuff over there, Greg, or nothing?
I don't think we got any.
All right. We kind of. What are your thoughts, Chris, on the current state of the industry? We kind of talked a little bit about this ammunition pricing doubling, and we kind of know why that is. Your prices have gone up, so yes, the price of the ammo goes up.
Yeah,
and it's the same thing with firearms, right?
Well, and I'm not too sure, obviously, on that firearm side, but everything has kind of gone up. And at first, when we were just selling the ammunition, the questions that were asked to the dealers are, great, are you seeing the ammunition fly out? You're seeing the firearms fly out, but are you getting the other things? Are you getting the bottle of CLP? Are you getting the holsters? Are those going as well? Is it the stuff that is all the accessories? And at first it wasn't as big as the firearms, but I think now it's just, people are getting whatever they can. My thoughts on the current state of the industry are, we talk about it all the time, right? When I'm having conversations with other buyers, with other, guys that are selling stuff. I mean, everyone is trying to speculate what's going to happen over the next 2 weeks. And, everyone, at first everyone was like, well, this was like 16. And no, this is nothing like 16. This is nothing like we've seen. I mean, the ammunition shortage right now is based off of, it was toilet paper, hand sanitizer, and then ammunition, and it was, hey, I need to protect my family. I need to protect, we don't know what's going to happen here. And I'm hoping that people are out there and still shooting and shooting matches and going out and getting training done and to prepare for, whatever. I mean, whether it's preparing for a match or just to keep up your training, but it rolled into, peaceful protests, Antifa, all that crap. And again, more fear and whatnot. And then now we're in the political aspect of it. I don't know where it's going to go. I mean, this is unprecedented. Every show has been canceled. I mean, started with EWA and the NRA show to all of the buy group shows. But none of the manufacturers have really needed those platforms. I mean, those were platforms to network and get some real hot deals out there. And, I'll never forget when we were about to do the NBS show with Ammo Inc. But guy asked me, he's like, well, what are you going to go to the show for if you don't have any specials or any product to deliver? And I said, well, that's the reason right there, because I don't have any specials and no product. And I need to go get in front of these customers that are buying ammo and being like, where's my ammunition? It's a really weird time right now. I mean, you got dealers out there can't keep ammunition on the shelf, and I'm hoping other stuff as well. And they're literally like, hey, I will pay you cash up front to get product out right now. And you have companies out there that were dropping large POs, big box stores, all the way through 2021. So I don't think anybody sees it as stopping.
Yeah, it's
The whole
crazy.
market is
Do
crazy
you envision
right now.
another Trump? Yeah. You think another Trump slump is coming if he gets elected again?
You know, I saw that question, and
I would
about
think
it.
so.
I've thought about it for a good portion of the day, and it's something that we've all been asking each other over the last couple of weeks. But I don't think so, because I think Trump wins next week. You are going to see more people screaming and creating more havoc, and there's going to be more,
I think it's a little bit different now, because I think with the riots that happened, I think it really opened a lot of people's eyes. That so before the Trump slump, and when we would have slumps like that was because those of us that already are into guns kind of relaxed, right? Whereas whenever, you're scared you're going to get your rights taken away, everybody hoards. But that's the people that already cared about those rights. But I think what's happened through this riot is there are people that did not care about those rights. And then they realized, oh, this is bad. Like, there's bad stuff going on. And I've, multiple people reached out and were like, can you teach me how to shoot, that have never wanted to before. So I think that the fear of what could happen with these riots going on kind of opened people's eyes. And with the whole, we're going to defund the police, and thinking, wait a minute, there's not going to be police there to come and save me. And I think not all, but there are some people that have families and kind of thought, I've got to be able to protect my family. And
sure.
So I think there's people that were not gun owners before. So the Trump slump and all didn't affect them because they weren't out there buying in the first place to then stop buying. They were never in the market, right?
Yep.
I think that we have some newer people in the market. So I don't know that we'll have the same level of slump.
No, I don't think so. And it's, it's funny because, like you said, you had people reach out to you that, were never gun enthusiasts, never wanted to carry. I mean, I had a couple of the same things, and, they're like, well, wait a minute, what about, because I don't know about where you guys are, but up here, they shut down the state. They weren't doing fingerprinting. And so people couldn't go and get their permits. And there was like, hey, well, wait a minute, I can't, that's my Second Amendment right. You can't stop me. It was like, first time here, that's what gun control is all about. Well, why can't I just go get it? Why can't I just go buy a firearm? Well, this is what gun control is. So, that's what you're faced with. And now a lot of these people have gone and they've taken advantage of their Second Amendment right. And now they're a boatload of new first-time gun owners across the country. And hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps keep it going past this, and we don't run into another one of those slumps. I mean, bottom line is there's always going to be people out there going and shooting matches and training and hunting, and as long as everyone keeps doing that, I think we'll be fine. What this has done, though, I think, has kind of course corrected some of the issues with ammunition anyway.
And I think after the election, I think there's going to be more riots.
Oh God, yeah.
There was riots someplace yesterday because somebody broke the law and got ventilated or whatever. And I think that's what's driving a lot of these first-time gun buyers more so than anything else. So if the riots continue, they're going to keep going. And also, once stuff does calm down and the stores stock up, these people that were panicking, and like I'll use my dad for example. He's been into guns for a while. He has his concealed carry. He has several pistols, several rifles, shotguns, whatnot, but he's never had an AR before. And he just I don't know, he was waiting to find the perfect AR. He's like, oh, I don't like the handguard on this. I'm like, well, then build one. Tell me which handguard you like. We'll put it together. He's like, no, whatever. I don't need one, blah, blah, blah. And then, a couple months ago, he's like, hey, I'm ready to build an AR. I'm like, great. You've picked literally the worst time in my entire life to build an AR.
Yeah.
So he built that, and Saturday, I was eating dinner after the match, and my dad called and was like, "I'll call him back in 5 minutes." And I get a text, "Never mind, I bought it." He was so excited that he just spent $760 on 1,000 rounds of 223. And I was just like, "Oh man,
Yeah.
that's painful."
That's painful.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and so it's I've had this conversation with a bunch of people too, right? Because everyone's like, oh God, I'm not going to pay. I can't pay that price for ammo. I was buying it at $8 a box. Listen, I get it. I was selling it for less than that into distribution, but I mean, if I want to get it right now, I know what I have to pay for it, and it's not what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But if everyone remembers the last year when you could buy 9mm Winchester white box for $9 in a store,
Mm-hmm.
or federal for $8 with a rebate, but no one remembers, back in 15 when it was $13, $14 a box.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that, it doesn't need to be where it is now, and I'm hoping that all just continues to reset and we go back to normal prices that they were in 15. But I mean, trust me, I spent a year getting beat up about margins and the whole business side of the ammunition.
Yeah, I think people are thinking companies are kind of just price gouging, but that's not the case because their cost has went up. That's what people gotta understand.
And I think what's going to happen is that all these people that have been, seeing these ridiculous prices and, buying, just enough, I think that the first time they go and walk into their local academy and they see, a 3-foot wide section of that Winchester white box for $9, they're going to feel their buggy. And I think that after the riots, well, once it's fully relaxed and back to normal, I think it's going to keep going because people are just going to be, at least for a little while, they're just going to be so happy that I should buy this now. I've not seen these prices this good. Let's do it.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's so right now you can't find primers out there. You got companies like Winchester just took over at Lake City. I mean, they were making 223 Northrop Grumman was making 223 for everybody, and now that's shut down. There's not much brass that being made in bulk, and anything that you're trying to get is coming from overseas. So, there's a lot of importing right now as well.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what, I've never been so happy. When I first got into precision rifle, I was like, when I was doing 3-gun, I was like, definitely 9mm, definitely 223. I could buy ammo for so cheap. It's going to be great. And when I got into this, I started off with 6.5 Creedmoor, then I moved over to the 6 GT, where there's one person that makes factory ammo for it. So it's all this weird stuff, all this off the wall stuff. And I've never been so happy in my life to shoot such a weird caliber that nobody's stockpiling.
Yeah. I was looking for 5.45. I'm like, nobody shoots that stuff. It's got to be out there, and it was out there. Little higher than it usually was, but not painfully high. But I was able to find some 5.45 by 39, and that was readily available. But how many people? Some people don't even know what 5.45 by 39 is.
Yeah.
So
Jennifer, what are you shooting?
I'm shooting 6 GT right now.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna switch to something else next season, but that's yet to be determined.
Yep.
I might go 6 Creedmoor.
Ooh, fancy.
Maybe.
That'd be cool. So I got a live one from Kevin from GSL. He said, "What's the best way to start reloading for 9mm?" Kevin, right there. Cry once, buy once.
Was it 650 or 1050?
650, which has now been replaced by the 750. So the little blue handle right there, you pull that up and down, and then in this tray over here, you put your bullets and you pick them up and you drop them in one at a time right there. And that's all you do. if you want to reload for pistol, that's the way I would do it. That's the way I did do it.
But that's an excellent machine, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're gonna dive into reloading right now, you still have the primers and the primer issue.
Yeah, that is step one, Kevin. Find primers. You can
brass.
I got a lot of 9mm brass. I can hook you up with some brass.
Yeah, I mean, so that's and the same thing happened with Sandy Hook and all that. I mean, it seems like the reloading supplies dry up before the ammunition, the factory loaded ammunition does. So if you're going to go to the reloading thing, you should do it now and stock up. I mean, not hoard fucking pallets, but stock up on some primers and some powder. And
I was about to say, don't tell everybody to go hoard, and then no one can find it because the hoarders have it.
Yeah, I mean, not have UPS freight drop off 3 pallets of CCI small pistol primers. I mean, but have your stockpile, so when this you have enough to when this shit actually breezes over, you're sitting like right now. If I had 300 blackout and I was reloading 300 blackout, I'd be probably kind of a rich man right now. I'm just saying, I have like 400 rounds of 300 blackout. I'm just feel like throwing it on a bed and just like, dude, that's $2 a round, baby, all day long.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
if you need 300 blackout, holler at me. All right, so there we go. I mean, Clark Armory, what do you have available like right now? If I went to the website, what am I looking at? What can I pick up?
Oh, I mean, I have 9mm 115 grain FMJ in stock. I have obviously some Inceptor, some of the ARX line in stock. I actually have some more 9mm 115 grain Total Metal arriving on Thursday. That's from Ammo Inc. That's their Ammo Inc. signature line. I have some Norma range and training product coming in 380, 9, 38, 357. Clark Armory is going to have some private label ammo. So I'm going to have some 308 in match and expanding coming in, some 124 JHP. Just got some ballistic machinist shotgun shells. So I got the 12 gauge steel, steel dumbbell 12 gauge, pretty wild round. Some EBR 12 gauge frangible entry slugs. I have some Gecko in. I have some Ammo Inc. Streak, some Stealth, some Arms Core. So the website has ammunition on it. It's not going to be, prices are ranging from $29 up to $37. So it's all over the place, but it's there and we're getting more in. I've got purchase orders in with all of my vendors, and I put on the buyer hat in the morning and I sit there and I send out emails and find out when stuff is coming in and how fast I can get it.
You might have just said this, but you cut out because my internet is a little rough. How much is the 9mm?
So 9mm. So I have 9mm, the Venom stuff in stock, $29.99 a box.
50 rounds. So that's 115 grain.
Yep, it's 115 grain.
Yeah. Ouch. Yeah. I mean, but listen, I work at 2 gun ranges, right? We're selling it 115 grain, $27.95 a box of 50, and people are buying it like it is fucking like we have a 3-box limit on that stuff because we would sell almost 250,000 rounds in under 30 days.
Right.
So we had to limit this, and people are upset that they can only buy 3 boxes at that price.
So
you know what I mean? And Gold Dot, $39 for 20 rounds. Just saying.
Oh yeah, no limit on Clark Armory and free shipping on 150 or more.
And the website is it clarkarmory.com or is it?
It is clarkarmory.com.
There it is. So go check it out. I don't know. We talked a little bit about it, with your previous companies, and now since you work for ammunition, we should get your email so everybody can flood it.
Sure.
You've dealt with a lot of sponsoring matches, sponsoring shooters, like overlooking a whole shooting team essentially.
Yep.
I think his
What's
favorite
your
is when
advice?
people. I think his favorite is when people email and just ask like, "Hey, like I'm an awesome shooter. You should give me ammo." So everybody do that.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
email them and ask for ammo.
Yeah. Info at.
What's your advice on how one should go about sponsorship with a company or sponsoring a match, getting Clark Armory to sponsor a match? Like, what's the right way to go about it? What do you think?
I mean, it is. It's starting to have that conversation and, seeing what kind of sponsorship spots are available. In the past when it was either with CLP or Dewey Rods, that's when I felt like I was a little bit more plugged into the sponsored shooter and the game of it. And it was great. I mean, it was great to have the name out there. I mean, as you know, Rand CLP was a new company trying to get its name out there. That's why we had done the partnership with Viking Tactics. Dewey Rods was a company that had been in the industry since the 70s. And the goal there was to kind of bring that name to the forefront. I mean, there was a bunch of people that knew about it, but it was still just a very obscure product. I mean, we were trying to reach a different demographic. So, the opportunity is there. And it's just starting that initial conversation and seeing if, what kind of possibilities there are. Trust me, if the ammunition, I mean, it's a little bit different because I'm not, in my role right now, I'm not making anything, right? But a manufacturer getting their product, their logo and their product in the hands of a sponsored shooter is worth its weight in gold because it's word of mouth, with Dewey Rods. I mean, right now with Clark Armory, it's just, I'm selling every box of ammo that I can. It doesn't, I don't have a favorite, so, but as a manufacturer, if I was making my own ammunition, I would want it in every single sponsored shooter's firearm at every match. And then at the end of it, when they're holding up their trophy, it's like, so Allison, like if she was shooting my ammunition and winning all those trophies, I mean, there you go. That's worth it.
That got tossed around the internet too. I mean, she was very impressive when we had her on the show, and everybody saw it coming. I just didn't think it was going to happen this soon. And there it is. And then she's hoisting all these trophies
Told
up.
y'all on that show within a year she will win an overall match.
Yeah,
Everybody's like, yeah, whatever.
I mean, and you
everyone was
see
saying
her
a
shoot.
year, 2
so
years,
I have no idea.
a year, 2 years. It was like a month and a half.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I didn't expect a month and a half. I mean, shit. But hey, there it is. And I don't think she can even fit any more names on her jersey. And if she could, it's probably going to be filled if it's not filled already. But
so, we were talking about it earlier, and then you just brought it up again. I just remember back, I don't know, 15. I remember hearing another young female's name as the next big thing. And I mean, then she went on to be part of Team Glock. And
I was about to say Ashley. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Like I'll never forget. I mean, Anthony, I remember it was Tori Jordan who mentioned her name, and then I had a conversation with her at I think it was either at the NRA World Shoot
indoor, probably.
No, it was in Peacemaker in West Virginia. So, I think it was the FN 3-gun match that they had that year. And I remember meeting her and her father there. And I mean, that's when it all started. And the next thing you know, so if you're saying this Allison Zane is the next big thing, or she is the big thing right now, then yeah, it's only going to go. I mean, again, she's only doing PRS.
For now, I think.
For now.
Yeah.
So
for now, it's long gun. So PRS, NRL, 22 rimfire, long, rifle game.
Yeah.
So big deal. So there we go. What do we have? What do we have? What else we have left? Any live, or are we good? Good.
I have to tell Prentice Wink. This is lime green, not regular green. There's a big difference.
I don't think Prentice
Yeah.
cares.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference there. It
looks seafood to me.
It does look actually a lot different on this camera than in real life. Like one of the biggest comments I get at matches is, "Wow, that gun looks so much different in real life than on the camera." It kind of washes it out, makes it look a little bit more seafoam than the obnoxious bright green that it actually is.
Yeah. There it is. Yeah, I think Greg's trying to get his thing is he attracts sponsors using that lime green chassis.
No, it's so I don't lose my shit. Like I lose everything else, I lose all the time. But it's like, where's my gun? Oh, there it is. I see it. I left it 3 stages down. It's over there under that bush.
It's like John McClane's pants, lime green chassis. It worked. All right. What else we got? So speaking of, we a little bit political, kind of what's going on. The ATF seems to have lost their shit recently, and it started off about a month ago with Q. So Q produces a 300 Blackout AR pistol. They also produce SBRs and rifles and etc. But they just decided to kind of send a cease and desist letter to that and kind of pause their production. Obviously, that massively hurts their pocket. And obviously, attorneys got involved in that, and there was some back and forth, yada, yada. I don't know how deep that goes or what the status is of that. But now within the last 48 hours, there's been that ATF has plans to possibly, when this is all possibly, and there's some YouTube videos, if you just type in this, there's a lot of the big YouTube gun channels who are pushing us around. Tim at Military Arms channel, VSO gun channel, stuff like that, where ATF is trying to reclassify all AR pistols into AOWs or SBRs. So an AOW is under the NFA and it's a $5 tax stamp. People are going to be like, oh, well, that $5 tax, well, it's no big deal. So let's $5 all my shit and we're good, right? But that's not really the grand point of it. All right. So I don't know, Chris, if you kind of if you looked into this, Greg, if you looked into this on what the word is on that or the status on that is. It looks like they're planning for a Biden victory here.
It's no secret that if Biden wins this thing, he's come right out and said, I think it's on his website, that he's going to, well, I know for a fact that he wants to shut down all sales of gun parts and ammunition online. But I mean, they're definitely going to push hard for this. And this is probably them starting that, getting it ready. I mean, it is, I have not, obviously I saw the issue with Q come out and I just saw it from a 30,000 foot view on social media. But yeah, they're definitely not doing anything to help the cause. It's definitely setting it up for some kind of, problem.
And this kind of started with the bump stocks, you know what I mean? When the Vegas thing happened, and that's the most mysterious shit. We're not even going to go down that. Well, the bump stock, they sucked, whatever. They were no good, and I agreed with that. I didn't think they were no good. I never had any interest in owning one or whatever. But that wasn't the grand point. The grand point is that they take that away like a whim like that and just kind of reclassify shit in parts, kind of leaves an opening for them to do it to other shit. So that's kind of what's being said also in these videos is that, yeah, that was kind of a silly product in most people's eyes, but you kind of let that happen. And now all of a sudden they can do that. You have a 2.5 pound trigger in your AR. Boom. That's considered this. You have a ambi charging handle. That's considered this. You have adjustable gas block. Oh, that's a machine gun. Let's do this. You know what I mean? It's an ever going cycle of shit.
Yeah, it's ridiculous that people that we don't elect get the ability to create laws, or not even laws, just tell us. Like, that's the thing, is there's it's not a law book. It doesn't go through the same process as any sort of a law would. And they just kind of decide, based off of, how good their morning coffee was, what kind of rules they want to make for us peasants to follow. And it's just, that was a really bad precedent that was set forward. And I don't know what it's going to lead to in the future, but it's very, very uncomfortable feelings about this stuff right now.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a slippery slope, because, like you said, you do it once, and then what happens down the road? I mean, it's just,
We got some live on this
video. Who was that? The video. Somebody was talking about it. You know what? I just lost the point, but he was. Yeah, no, I just lost that point. But it was the video that you sent me, Anthony. VSO.
Yeah, that was VSO. That was a Kurt over.
He made a point on there, talking about what the kind of the underlying thing is, and I mean, it just leads you down that rabbit hole of, like you said, it's not the point of the bump stock, it's what they do with it once they get that approved. This next thing, once they create that wormhole.
Yeah. So if you guys are just queuing up on this, VSO Gun Channel on YouTube, Tim at Military Arms, and his social media, Facebook, I believe. I don't think he has a video out. It's just on his Facebook and social media. And if you just search for that in YouTube, you're going to see a bunch of big gun channels that they actually have a link in the video where you can go and kind of contact your local officials and try to get your word heard. Go check that out if you want to get involved in that. I think everybody should.
Yeah.
All right. Any live that came up, Greg, or are we good? Just on mute there.
Maybe hit the unmute.
I literally just muted myself instead of unmuting myself. See, I did my thing. I hit the unmute button, but I was unmuted already. Kevin said he thinks the ATF should focus more on alcohol and tobacco, since those kill more people than all NFA items ever, which is like beyond true.
I think right now they should focus on getting my suppressor out of jail, but that's just me.
Yeah, me too. I really want my GSL suppressor.
And that was the point that was made.
How long have y'all been waiting on this?
I think I'm at 6 months now.
Go ahead, Chris.
No,
okay.
Well, that
should be any day now.
In that YouTube video where recently Trump told those agencies to stand down, but apparently the ATF is like, screw it. We're just going to do our own thing.
Yeah. There was an executive order signed saying to stand down on this shit. And it looks like they're just kind of lining everything up. So November 3rd rolls around and then boom, here you go. Or, I mean, I'm sure there's a process in getting all that out. I would assume,
I really don't think there is with the ATF.
Like, I don't want to say things that's wrong.
I mean, the ATF seems to kind of be like cowboys there. So,
yeah, just a couple of random people that have some jobs.
So there you go.
Maybe I could just apply for a job on like monster.com at the ATF, and then I'll go make the rules. Is that how that works?
Hey, I know. Dude, it's like, I know some ATF agents. Actually, I know one good friend. He's out of Vegas. And I asked him, like, yo, like, everybody has their own little department and cubicle. And it's like, I don't talk to you over here. So I deal with this and like stolen firearms, and buddy 7 cubicles down over there to the left and like behind him deals with like NFA shit. And they don't really talk to each other. So it's like, even though I know him and I try to get information, he's like, dude, you're talking to the wrong ATF guy, dude. I don't know. I don't know nothing about that stuff. So yeah, it's weird. But yeah.
So Jen, we have a live question for you from Ray. He wants to know where you got your stock from. He thinks you have the same length of pull. Seriously though, for short shooters, what stock recommendations do you guys recommend? His length of pull is 13.25 inches, and he's looking to move from his Magpul Hunter stock.
So this is a Macmillan A10, which I love. And I can't remember, it's a shorter length of pull than the standard 13.5. I don't remember if it comes standard at 13 at the longest, but the beauty of it is there's spacers in the back. And so basically I got my gun and laid behind it and played with it, taking the spacers out until I got it at the length of pull that was right for me. That felt good, and I could get around the trigger well. So,
And it's got a lot of adjustment in it too, doesn't it?
yeah, I mean, I have probably 4 spacers that are not in it. So it's got a wide variety. You can really, it was made, so Regina Milkovich, my dear friend, is who helped design this for people a shorter length of pull. So, I mean, everybody likes to talk about the ladies, but there are a lot of men that are not 6'2". I mean, there's a lot of guys that are 5'8", 5'7", that shoot PRS. And so having that length of pull that fits them better is very helpful. So the A10 was kind of made like that. And the reach of your hand is a little bit different also. The way that the grip is a little bit different. So it's a little easier to reach the trigger from having your hand on the grip. But that A10 is great. They also made the Z10, which is just a lot of it is the same, but you don't have to bed a Z10. It is meant to fit a lot of different actions, and they say that you don't have to bed it. So this is an A10 and it is bedded to my action. So check out Macmillan. They're awesome.
There you go. Anything else?
Ray said, yeah, I'm 2 stacked midgets.
Well, 2 is better than 1.
I was gonna. It's like 2 midgets are always better than 1, but I was like, let's not go down there.
Yeah, let's not go down 2 midgets or anything like that. Anyway, on to question number next.
Any upcoming projects, goals, or events, Chris, for Clark Armory or yourself?
So one of the first things, the goal was to open it up to more than just non-toxic, lead-free options and ammunition. So that's what we've been doing. We've just been working on working with all the vendors, past and present, to get the store stocked. So ammunition is in stock and ready for everyone to get for everyone to go onto the website and get it. One of the other things we did is we redesigned the website. So one of my goals was to make it a better shopping experience. In the past, it was a good shopping experience, but we just wanted to take it to that next level. So we've been working on that. Nothing as far as goals and projects. Obviously, I just want to ramp this up and open it up to more product lines and more vendors. As far as events, there's really nothing coming up. We'll see what happens here with SHOT Show. That would be the next event. It'll be a different SHOT Show for me. Instead of sitting in a booth and selling stuff, I'll be walking around, do a lot of booths and doing some buying. So that's what I have as far as those 3 items.
Do you see any?
You think SHOT Show is going to happen?
Ooh, that is
the question of the hour, isn't it?
It is. And it's funny because a buddy was just in Vegas for the weekend, and I was like, what was it like? He was like, just weird. He said it was really weird. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I know that it probably needs to happen from the NSSF point of view. I don't know that it needs to happen from some of the manufacturers' point of view. I could say that, as a buyer, it's like, why don't you save the money on the booth, invest it into production, and get more stuff out to the dealers. From I'm going to go because it's going to be my first time sitting across from people to buy stuff and to set up for future. But if it wasn't, and I was already locked in a couple of these manufacturers, I wouldn't go. It's just not going to be as fun. I mean, SHOT Show to me is still fun, right? I mean, you get to see people that you talk with all year long, and you get to kind of have that personal experience that you don't get just by emails and whatnot. So it's just going to kind of be boring as far as what you're going to be able to do. Like, can you imagine Circle Bar with, what are you going to do? Wear masks? It's just obnoxious.
Can you imagine Circle Bar standing 6 feet apart from everybody?
Yeah. Could you imagine walking down the aisle one way at SHOT Show?
I think it would be beautiful to be 6 feet away from people personally. But
Yeah, I really don't like people, but like,
who really wants to just shank people when I go to Circle Bar? But that's just me.
Bottom line is, I mean, if you go, if COVID and the plague are in, I mean, one of those things is going to take out the other. So, I mean, maybe it needs that. Maybe the cure for COVID comes from the SHOT Show plague.
I'm down to try because I'm really tired of this shit.
Yeah.
You couldn't handle SHOT Show last year. I don't want to hear it.
I was just vomiting while sleeping on the floor of the shower. Okay.
Oh, that's not fun.
Oh, yeah, that's
a real
rough.
fun
That's
night.
rough. That's when it hits you like halfway in. That's bad. But usually if it hits me, it usually hits me a week or two after I come back.
See, I'd be
Or like
fine
a few days
with
after
that.
I'm already back from SHOT Show.
I'd be fine with like 2 days back at
But
work
I've
and
never
then
been-
like dead. And
I never
sorry, I'm
been
dead.
stat sick like during.
Oh.
All right, I think last one here, unless we got any live, we can wrap this one up. Chris, you see any wildcat, wildcat calibers that you think could make a comeback? 545 by 39. We talked about that a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
I have a firearm chambered in that. IWI just put out their Galil Ace in 545 by 39. The 224 Valkyries and those kind of weird rounds. You see anything with that making a comeback? 300 Blackout, it's not really wildcat anymore, but
No, it's not. Maybe, but I don't see it until they can figure out how to get 9mm back and 223 shelves before, no one's going to be like, although, I mean, hey, listen, 40 caliber is flying off the shelf. I mean, when was the last time 40 caliber just
yeah.
shelf, right?
Yeah,
But-
we have a steady supply of stock on that. That's for sure.
Right. But I mean, hey, I'm out. All my 40 is gone. But what happened is when people couldn't get 9mm and 223, they started moving to other calibers. I know 380 is flying out of off the shelves. So once they can get, I think, that back to to level, then maybe some of these wildcat calibers. But I don't see it. I don't see it anytime
It's
soon.
like the people, the 40 guys are like, see, you dumb fucks buying all that 9.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm sure
you guys buying all them 9mm pistols.
I'm sure the 10mm Legion is out there probably doing the same thing, going,
Yeah.
10 mil height.
They're like, well, I got 5,000 rounds of 10 mil.
Listen, I mean, I'm gonna try tomorrow. I'm gonna try and buy some 45 gap.
Oh God, good luck. Do they still make that?
Oh shit. yeah, they do.
Oh, we're about to find out tomorrow. We'll see if we can buy some 45 gap.
Gay and proud.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I shot that. Actually, it's a fun round to shoot. Actually, it's like a 45 that they chopped it in half and left the same 45 projectile in the case. And weird. It was a state trooper carries that caliber, believe it or not. Florida State Trooper they still carry 45 gap.
Really?
Like random thing talking about like bullets and whatnot. Like I have pistol primers, and I was like, man, I wonder if I could like buy stuff right now. And for when I was shooting a lot of USPSA, I shot a lot of the blue bullets, and everything is still in stock. I might load some ammo. Maybe I could load some ammo and sell it for a dumb price. No, I wouldn't do that.
You
That's
should
too
have been
much.
doing that, sir.
Let's say,
Well, technically, don't say that because.
Let's say I
you're
need
not
a
supposed
license.
to do
Yeah, I need
that.
a license to do that, and I would never do anything illegal. So
Yeah.
And if you did, I wouldn't announce
Exactly.
it on a podcast. Just saying.
this isn't a podcast. This
No,
is
he's gonna reload. He's gonna reload a bunch of 9 and 40 for himself.
actually. Oh no, there's
So
There's a lot
bullets,
of-
I don't know.
a lot of bullets in there actually.
So no need.
Yeah.
The shooter's mindset at gmail.com. Let me know. There you go.
This is how we fund Anthony getting good internet.
Jen
Yeah.
has nothing to do with this. Just putting that out there. She's sitting in her house in Augusta, not listening to them.
Yeah. We might get a cease and assist. There we go. Any more live? If not, I think we're good on the question side, aren't we?
Oh damn. Brandon Ritter just said he's been waiting 2 months for a Blue Bullet order. So maybe I won't order some to try and normally they're super fast, but I'm assuming they're out for the same reason as anybody else.
Thing that one of my biggest pet peeves is when an online retailer says it's in stock and you order it and then it's really not in stock. So now your money's in limbo. They took your money and then they're giving you the runaround. Like, I'm not saying this is what Blue Bullets is doing because I have no idea, but I've seen it happen for major big box retailers for gun parts and shit. And it's just like, dude, I know it might be a pain in the ass to keep your website and inventory on the website updated during this kind of craze. No, but really. I mean, you probably pay one guy to do that.
Chris is like, no, it's really not. You can do that automatically.
It's 2020, and while 2020 sucks, I mean, technologically, we're pretty there. I mean, I load whatever if I have stuff coming in, I know that I have, 600 boxes coming in on Thursday. I load it and it tracks it. So no, it's not that hard.
Yeah, I mean,
So.
I mean, listen, are we dealing with elevated, traffic and orders? Yes. Have there been times since I took over where I was 3-4 days behind on shipping? Yes. Did customers place order yesterday and they got shipped this morning? Yes. That's 9mm. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to do everything I can. And if somebody places an order before noon, it's going out same day. So it's really what level of customer service you want to provide to the customers.
Yeah, I mean, it's, again, like you said, it's 2020. We all there's ERP systems out there that literally handle all of that automatically. You scan the box when it comes in and it'll automatically update your website. Oh,
by the way, it's an app on my phone, so I can literally check I can do it while I'm walking the dog, while, it's always available. So customer service is a big thing, man. And if you got companies out there that are doing stuff like that, it's not doing service to the people.
Yeah, because one of the things I've liked about Blue Bullets is I place an order, it ships out the same day, I have it by the weekend. So like if I run out of bullets on Sunday, I can order it on Monday and have them in time to load for the next Saturday. So that is kind of crappy. Chris, I got a live one for you. Tim wants to know if you'll carry more hunting rifle cartridges in the future.
Yes. So I actually have some of the Norma Bond Strike coming in 308, 6.5 Creedmoor, 300 Win, and 300 WSM. So that's coming in. Just placed the order, so I think it shipped yesterday. So hopefully by the end of the week. And I'm going to do more. I'm going to try to get more. I'm going to try to get some other products. I'm working on seeing if I can get some Hornady.
Sweet. And another question about the store. Do you ever plan on, obviously it's going to be hard as heck right now getting bulk ammo in, but I noticed a lot of your stuff is 20 round, 50 round boxes, stuff like that. When stuff is available, do you ever plan on going to kind of any sort of bulk ammo, order in? Sweet.
Yeah. So there'll be options when you want, when selecting a product, if you want a box or 5, or you want to order it in 1,000 round bulk.
Sweet. Bulk ammo is the best ammo.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys should learn how many people just buy as they go to the range. Like, let me get a box or two. They shoot a box or two and then go home with like their hollow points in their mag, and that's it. You probably want to at least buy a case, like 1,000 rounds, and And then if you're going to do that, I like to sit on it. I always like to sit on. Some people say that it's rookie numbers, and I always like to sit on 1,000. Like if I have less than 1,000 of something, I have nothing. You know what I mean? Like I got to stay at 1,000. So I'd get a case, and then if I'm going to go to the range, I'd buy a couple boxes to shoot that. But I'm still back at a case. You know what I'm saying? I still got 1,000.
Yeah,
hanging there, and that's not hoarding. I don't think that's hoarding at all, because 1,000 is. I mean, when you were shooting, and we were shooting every weekend. When I was shooting every weekend, 1,000 would last. That was nothing between practice and matches and shit like that. 1,000 was nothing. So
I mean, yeah, back when 15, 16, going to King 3-3, you know, 3 nights a week. I mean, it was 2,000 rounds a month and you know, that's with time in between, but it was a constant flow of the cases of ammo coming in, because you're having those nights at the range, and
I'm saying hoarding, and I got like all these ammo cans like right behind me. It's like it's odd. Empty? I'm like, are you full of shit, Anthony? Like, what are you talking about here?
Let's see. I feel like hoarding for shooters is different than hoarding. You know, people are like, you bought 1,000 Lapua Center X. You know, which is $230 boxes of 22. It's like, yeah, you know, that's like a couple months of ammo there. I got to buy some more pretty soon.
Yeah. And then it's like, dude, the dude's sitting on 10,000 rounds. I'm like, when's the last time you shot? Well, you know, like, what? You got 10,000 rounds and you haven't shot in months? What are you doing, dude? But whatever, to each their own, I guess, on that.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think I'm good. We can wrap this one up unless you guys got anything.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Good deal.
Yeah.
All right. Clark Armory is the website for you guys who's catching in the middle towards the end of the show here. ClarkArmory.com for your ammunition needs. Check it out. Obviously, there'll be new developments coming as not only, I mean, he took this thing over, like, I feel like 2 weeks ago. But, you know, as things progress, the website gets better, availability comes in stock. I'm sure those hunting rounds will be on there. Maybe some 5, 7 by 28. That stuff's like $4 a round right now. Like nuts. But yeah, so keep checking back. If you guys are listening later on in the months, go check out ClarkArmory.com. We'll write it down as shout outs here. Jen, we'll start off with you. What do you have?
Yep. Shout out to Macmillan Stocks, that beautiful stock we talked about earlier. Night Force Optics, the best glass on the planet. Shooters of Augusta and Sharpshooters of Augusta, because they're awesome. GSL suppressors for keeping me civilized, even though I don't have it on the end of mine right now because it doesn't fit in my safe that way. Sorry, just doesn't. Warren scope mounts and bipods. HD gold for great glasses to protect my eyes. Prime ammo for awesome ammo. That's enough. Nobody wants to hear any more of that.
There you go.
So, Jen, you said that Night Force is the best glass on the planet.
Greg, what do you got?
Can you see other planets with it?
You can see other planets. I saw Saturn's rings through some Night Force glass the other night.
That is
a spotting scope, and it was pretty amazing. And now I really want one, and I'm really broke, so it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, Night Force.
Stay on my wish list. Honest to God, we saw Saturn's rings.
That is awesome.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sounds better than the telescope I got as a kid.
There's a joke in there somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know. Night Force is for rich folk. So Jen happens to be lucky to have some glass like that.
I was too poor for that.
Night Force is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Anyway,
Greg, what do you got?
GSL suppressors at some point in time, right around here. I'm sure you guys love my random finger pointing. Right around here, there's going to be a GSL woodland suppressor that is going to make my little 22 damn near silent. Is currently sitting at Crack Shot Pawn and Firearms, waiting for the guy 2 cubes down from your friend to figure out that I'm not a felon and that I can have my little gun muffler. Shooters and Sharpshooters of Augusta are local indoor and outdoor ranges. PDC Custom, the most beautiful rifle chassis known to man. They're available in this beautiful lime green. It's not a mint green. It's not a regular green. It's a lime green. I'm sorry, I have a fancy webcam and it makes it like minty. minty fresh, like my breath. They also have normal human colors. NDZ Performance to build a really sweet Gucci Glock. Phone scope, kind of the coolest little A thing for looking cool for the gram. B, training aid is real sweet. Check them out. Shooters Rolled Powder. We've been talking this whole show about how hard it is to find ammo and brass and blah, 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 blah. Nobody can find powder, but I have a whole bunch of it over there on the reloading bench because they still have tons of powder in stock. Hunter's HD Gold. I am blinder than a bat, and I can actually see stuff really far away with our glasses. If you haven't tried them on, try them on. And Bortec, so that you can keep your gun clean and maybe hit some stuff with it.
See how many sponsors you get with a lime green chassis? Maybe you guys should get one too. Just saying. So, Chris, what do you got for shout outs, man?
Hey, my shout out is to you guys, man. Thank you for continuing to do what you guys do here, bringing light to people like me and the spots that I'm at. I appreciate having me on here and giving me a chance to talk a little bit about Clark Armory and this new venture that I am on. So that's all I got, man. Obviously,
well, yeah, as soon as I saw that post, I'm like, dude, you want to come on? He's like, dude, I don't even got the website up yet. I was like, yeah, you got to give it a couple months. So, yeah, I the only one here. Okay, yeah. So my internet is shit. We get it. But we're at the wrap up. Just wanted to say, if you guys can still hear me and I'm not laggy, we're on all the podcasting formats. So these shows usually go up on podcasts a few days after they stream live on the Facebooks. And then they usually go up on YouTube. So you can catch us on the podcast, YouTube. Always check us out on Facebook, The Shooter's Mindset, and The Shooter's Mindset on all other social media and podcast formats. Will find the show there. Every Tuesday, 9, new episode of The Shooter's Mindset Show. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Episode 315 of The Shooter's Mindset. We'll check you out on next week. Well, next week, I think we're taking a break because of elections. I don't think many people are going to really watch because we're probably going to be streaming live when the elections are kicking off, and I'd want to watch that also. So we're probably going to a little break next week, but we'll probably be back soon thereafter. All right. So we'll see you on the next one. Have a good night.